Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about motherhood experiences. I remember having a lot of expectations and thoughts around what motherhood would be like before becoming a mother, even while I was pregnant. And every day I'm learning something new. But I think after having a 4-year-old, I've learned so much about motherhood and how it changes you. And I just wanted to talk about it. I want to talk about the things that a lot of people don't talk about. Your body changes, your time and availability changes, your goals change, your world literally changes. Every plan that you make typically revolves around your kids. And it's like the things that used to be really easy and impromptu are just not going to be the same anymore. Your children are a part of you, and so your focus changes, your hustle changes. Things that you could spend money on wastefully before you became a parent, you really can't. Or if you do, you take from your kids. You start to get into a routine and things continue to change. You get comfortable in one stage and then your child begins another one. And it's like you have to learn your kid and keep up with your kid, and your life begins to revolve around it. Things like going out and clubbing may not be as fun to you, or you may stay the same and you may still enjoy going to the club, but you find yourself getting tired earlier. When it comes to dating, if you're a single mother, you have to get a babysitter to go on a date. And if your parents are the type where they don't really want you doing anything unless it's work or school, it can be hard for you to find someone that can understand what it takes to date you. If you're married or in a long-term relationship, it changes your relationship because the things that y'all did together to get the baby are not going to be as easy for you. If you're the type of couple that did a lot of traveling, it's not that you can't travel anymore, but you have to think about your child's schedule. And one big thing that affected me this year and actually sat in for me is that my son started preschool. And I realized that for the next, basically 18 years, my son is going to be in school. And what that means is, as far as traveling goes, family trips are going to have to take place around that school schedule. My own personal travel is going to have to take place around if my husband is going or not. If me and my husband both want to go, is Nana available to watch the children? I only have one, but I'm going to just say children while we go out of town. If not, is my son going to be able to spend that week or that weekend with my dad? Is my sister going to be available? Is a friend that I trust going to be available? Or am I not going to be able to do it? Those are the little things that we don't really think about, but they completely change our lives. If you're the type of person that's a socialite, being able to go out and do impromptu things last minute with short notice, that is really not going to be able to happen as much. A lot of times you'll want to do things and you really can't do them because it's not a child-friendly environment. I remember when my son was born, I didn't have a lot of babysitting options. I didn't have a sitter until Josiah was about 7 or 8 months old. And I remember that I would take my son almost everywhere with me. If my friends wanted to go out to eat, he was there. If we were having girls' night, he was there. If I had somewhere to be that wasn't work, Josiah was really with me, and my friends always saw him. You're trying to enjoy adult conversation, but you really can't enjoy adult conversation because you have a bored toddler or bored preschooler or kindergartner, elementary school child sitting there, and it's like you can't do things that you once were able to do because your life includes this person. Once I got a babysitter that I could rely on for a while, I ended up being able to do more without him, but that took some time. And with that being said, it really affected the way I could do things, and people started to leave me out. And motherhood could be kind of lonely because it felt like, my friends that I've known for years, they were kind of moving on without me. And in some ways, I feel like some of my friends may have felt like I moved on without them because I got married and I bought a house and I started to do new things in my life. I got a new job. I met new people because we're just in different places in our lives. The club is really not a place where you can build relationships. And if you have relationships with a lot of women and most of it is like partying and y'all are not really spending time talking to each other, getting to know each other. You're really just building an acquaintanceship with these girls. And what happens is when you're going through stuff, you're not going to have anybody to hang out with because you're not going to be able to do some of that stuff anymore. Another thing that a lot of people don't discuss initially is how pregnancy and motherhood changes your body. It changes your hormones. If you have a C-section, say rip to your stomach, sis, because unless you just have some sort of bounce back magician or your doctor does some wonders and tummy tucks you after that procedure, you may not be able to get that belly area nice and flat again. Some people can, but for me, even when I was 50 pounds lighter, I still had a gut that I'd never seen before. And that was really hard for me. It was very difficult to see my body change like that. I remember the first time I looked in the mirror after having my son, and I just didn't feel attractive anymore. And I had never felt so unattractive before like that. It was hard, especially because at the time I was kind of in between place in my relationship. I was a single mom basically, and I didn't have anybody to tell me that I was still beautiful outside of my father and friends, and it just was a lonely time, you know. Even though your friends congratulate you on the baby, it doesn't mean that you still feel like you have that circle and that connection. It's still you up at night with that baby. It's still you with your thoughts when the baby is sleeping. And so it's like seeing your body change and you're getting stretch marks. You know, I've always had light stretch marks because I've always been plus size. But there's a difference between plus size stretch marks and after baby stretch marks. When you gain 40 pounds because you had a baby, you get these dark lines on your skin that don't necessarily go away. And people can tell you to moisturize and try all these different pills or natural remedies, but if it's genetics, you may still get the stretch marks. And unfortunately, I think my mom had really bad stretch marks herself with me. So I adopted that. And that was like really hard for me because before having a baby, my stomach was, I won't say it was on flat, but your girl had a belly ring. So it was flat enough. You get what I'm saying? So it's like now, even if I lose 40 pounds next year like I'd like, I know in my head that my body is forever changed. And then I still want more children. So it's like you have to mentally process the new you. You become a new person, literally. It's a change. And it's like, it's not just a change in that you are someone's mom now, but it's a physical change because your body will never be the same. Yes, you can be healthy. If you have a natural delivery, your stomach may not have this pouchiness to it or whatever, but it changes your body in the stretch marks. It changes the hormones. It changes your boobs. You know, you have milk go in your boobs. And when the milk comes, it may cause your breasts to sag. I know a lot of women that are close to my age that have had breast lifts or implants put in after being a mom because they just didn't like their boobs anymore. I had a friend that worked with me previously. She was also a dancer and she had a beautiful body. And after having a C-section, she decided to get a tummy tuck and a breast surgery because she felt like she wasn't attractive. And to me, I felt like my friend was beautiful. Like she had a beautiful dancer body. She was toned, nice arms and legs and everything. But she didn't feel that way anymore because of the way that the pregnancy changed her body. And it's kind of funny because I've heard people say these things to me when I'm saying, I just don't like my body anymore, guys. I have a mommy body. It's just not the same. And they're like, but girl, you're so small. What do you mean? Or if I tell them how much I weigh, they're like, you don't look like you weigh that much. You carry it well. It's like you're comparing yourself to the old self, and it may not be obtainable anymore. It's kind of like if you know someone that finds out that they have cancer, and they have to accept the reality that cancer is a part of their new truth. It changes their life. My sister, I found out this year, she has colon cancer. She had to get a hysterectomy. My sister never wanted children, but it still bothered her a little bit to find out that she physically could not have children if she chose to. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's like, even though you can work out, you can change your attitude, you can be positive about it, there is a physical change that happens with motherhood. And it affects a lot of us. And a lot of us don't talk about it. Or when we do, we're kind of dismissed. And, you know, that can be hard for moms. In addition to handling that, if you wanted to book a flight and book a trip for tomorrow, you just couldn't. And that was something that you could do before. And it's okay to just take a moment to feel like, you know, sometimes I don't feel attractive anymore. Sometimes I do look at my body and critique like, oh man, I got these stretch marks and this skin is saggy here or whatever. Children are so rewarding. You know, they have half of you and half of their dad, and they're so loving. My son's love, although he can be a stubborn child and he can be hard-headed at times, my son's love warms my heart every single day. He is the sweetest. If anything happens to me, he is the first to, Mommy, are you okay? Mommy, are you okay? It just warms my heart. And those moments make the trade-off worth it. But it is something to consider. You know, if you're having a child, it will change your life in more ways than one. And it's okay to feel the feelings and emotions that come with that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you resonated with this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I love to talk with y'all down there. So leave me a comment. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already a part of the family. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.